Lost Ark have get a new class, Lancemaster, and for that occasion I have already made a few videos in which you can find out all about this beautiful new class. Best skills, engravings, meta builds and much more. Today in front of you, you can see compilation of all of these videos in one place, so check timestamps and pick specific chapter to be able to see fast information you're looking for. Lost Ark is getting two new classes, Lancemaster in April and Destroyer in May, so it's a perfect moment to check main features and to compare these two classes regarding damage output, PvE performance, PvP performance, and to see in generally which class is stronger. Stay with me for the next few minutes to find out everything you need to know about Destroyer and Lancemaster, next new classes incoming to Western servers of Lost Ark. Before we start, let me just say, subscribe to my YouTube channel to see more Lost Ark videos in the future. Okay, let's start with Destroyer. Destroyer is a male warrior class, armed with a huge hammer with high HP, defense and shield mechanic in some of his skills. There is no other way to say it but simply as this. Bad sides of this class are very low mobility and attack speed. That being said, let's talk about gameplay of this class. Destroyer uses plenty of charged attacks to deal extremely high damage. If you use blue skills, you'll be able to fill up the free gravity cores on the lower part of your screen, and then you can use purple skills to discharge the stacked cores, to deal additional damage, up to 45% bonus damage and 30% of your max HP as a shield, and to fill up another meter. After filling that another meter, you can enter a transformation mode that gives immunity from knockback and status effect for 10 seconds while adding bonus damage to auto attacks. You have to admit that sounds really good and actually feels very powerful under the fingers, which is overall feeling while you play this class. Decent damage and high survivability. In the future, you'll see more of dedicated videos about Destroyer on my YouTube channel, where I will go into details regarding engravings and skills of this class. But for now, in general, just to let you know that this class is a warrior damage dealer, slow but tanky, which performs better in PvE than in PvP gameplay. Regarding skill changes for Destroyer, which are happening currently during April on Korean PTR servers, so not on Korean live servers but on Korean test server, I can show you here they have actually changed a few skills, not few, more than few actually, right? But changes are mostly focused on increase of attack speed. So for sure we are talking here about buff for Destroyer, which is not a strange thing because this class is not that much popular over there in Korea because it's pretty slow. It's tanky, it's not squishy, but regarding damage in generally and in generally how it feels under the fingers, it feels too slow. So as you can see here in front of you, developers of the game have changed actually lots of skills and they are going into that direction of increasing of attack speed. Regarding Lancemaster, just to briefly let you know, in April in Korea they didn't change a lot regarding Lancemaster, they didn't nerf this class or buff this class that much. They have made some changes regarding critical hit rate. So critical hit rate changes, that's it in general, right? If I see any kind of new changes in the future, of course, I will let you know about that, and also check some dedicated videos on my YouTube channel regarding all of the changes which are happening regarding other classes of Lost Ark over there in Korea. Because sooner or later, whatever they have over there in Korea, we will get also here in the West. So for this video regarding skill changes which are currently happening over there in Korea regarding Destroyer and Lancemaster, this is everything what you need to know. Okay, let's now talk about Lancemaster. First thing which I need to tell you is a new name for this class for Western release, because publisher and developers of the game have decided to change name of this class from Lancemaster into Glaivier. They have decided to go with European name for a weapon as a base for this name because main weapon of this class is exactly that, glaive, which is actually one kind of polyarm. It's a lance, actually. Spear is a secondary weapon of this class, and to be honest, even Spearmaster sounds really good as a name for this class. For purpose of this video, I will call this class Lancemaster, just because it's easier to say it than Glaivier. I hope I have pronounced that good. Anyway, Lancemaster is a female fighter, martial artist class. Actually, it's a fourth female fighter class after War Dancer, Scrapper and Soulfist. Lancemaster is a melee damage dealer kind of class, which also have few ranged skills. Like I already mentioned, you can use two weapons, Glaive and Spear, and each one of these weapons have specific skills for that weapons. Blue skills are for Glaive and the red ones for Spear. You can change weapons whenever you want during your gameplay, and with that change of a weapon during fight, you will get certain buff depending how much are full your 3 bars above letter Z on the middle of your screen. So that swap from main weapon to secondary and vice versa, change from secondary weapon to main weapon, will also give you buffs. Buffs which you can get are increase in movement speed, increase in damage to enemies and critical damage increase, all depending on how many bars you have full in the moment of changing weapons. So that's it, simple as that. Right away, I need to tell you that things regarding meta build for engravings, stats and skills are easy to handle, and I will tell you in details how to do that. But regarding gameplay, this class is not so much beginners friendly as some other classes. But like all other classes of Lost Ark, when you play it for a while, it just becomes so fluid and feels natural under the fingers, so you don't need to worry even if you have never tried to play Lost Ark before. You'll handle it without any problems. Regarding engravings, you should go for abstinence engraving if you are a free-to-play player, or for zenith engraving if you are a hardcore pay-to-win player. Abstinence engraving will allow you to use only your main weapon, Glaive, but overall damage is increased for 36%, and Zenith engraving will make your character in generally much stronger when you are swapping those weapons from main to secondary and from secondary to main, so with that buff. So you need to decide for yourself. Awakening skills, as for all other classes of Lost Ark, feel really powerful, and my favorite one is a red one, but I will leave something for you to discover for yourself. Lancemaster is decent in PvP and very good in PvE gameplay, and overall one of the best classes of Lost Ark without any doubt. So, overall looking, both new classes, Lancemaster and Destroyer, are performing very good in generally, but Lancemaster in PvP will have problems against warrior classes. Regarding PvE and damage output, both classes are very good if played on correct way. None of them is squishy for sure, so survivability is another positive thing about Destroyer and Lancemaster. Destroyer is not that much popular on Korean servers of Lost Ark because it's a slow class, but regarding PvE gameplay, this class will perform on decent way. Another important thing about Destroyer and Lancemaster is a simple fact, important to many players. Those two classes are not squishy. I need to repeat that because that is very important, at least for me. Don't forget, it doesn't really matter what you will hear about new classes of Lost Ark until you try to play it yourself, so do that. Try them both after release, at least for a while, and then decide how does it feel for you under the fingers. Good or bad? Do you want to play it yourself or not? I have already played both of these classes in the past, but I will play them again now after Western release, and probably I will stick with at least one of them, if not with both of them, as my alts, just because of one simple reason: very good survivability. Let me know in the comments below video which one of these classes you like more. Will you try to play Lancemaster or Destroyer, or maybe both? If you are interested into Lost Ark, check my YouTube channel for lots of gameplay videos, guides for new players, and news from World of Lost Ark. And of course, when I see some new information regarding new classes, even over there in Korea, I will let you know about that instantly here on my YouTube channel. Thank you for watching the video, and subscribe to my YouTube channel to see more Lost Ark videos in the future. See you soon. Lost Ark is getting a new class, a Lancemaster, and I have to admit that for release I will probably reroll on this class as my main, since from my experience from Korea this is one really enjoyable class to play. For today's video I have for you one really interesting post which I have found on Reddit regarding good and bad sides of Lancemaster, and even that I don't agree entirely with everything written within this post, it's the best description of this class I have seen so far. So let's check it out. Before we start, let me just say subscribe to my YouTube channel to see more Lost Ark videos in the future. As you can see, I am already here on Reddit, so let's check this post from Revesev or Revesev. Yeah, anyway. This guy is playing Lancemaster as main class over there in Korea. You will see that on the end of this post. So let's check some main things regarding this post, and also I will show you latest new changes regarding skills for Lancemaster which were implemented actually during April over there in Korea on PTR servers. So that's a PTR server. It doesn't necessarily need to mean that we will get all of these changes on live servers, however, probably we will. First on live servers in Korea and then later here in the West. So let's check main things about Lancemaster here in this post. Lancemaster strong and weak points. And I will not even try to pronounce this Glaivier name, because for me at least Lancemaster sounds much better. Let's check it out. Lancemaster strong points of both class engravings. So before we also dive into this post, this class have two engravings, Zenith, and other one probably it will be translated as abstinence. However, yeah, that's not official translation. We'll still need to see on which way they will translate names of skills and engravings. First thing here, a wide range of attacks regardless of position. This class has a fairly wide and long reach for a melee character and is rarely affected by a long distance, near distance discrimination problem. Absolutely true. Even in Cookation raid, which is said to have disadvantages to melee characters, I don't feel that uncomfortable. In the focus stance state, it is sometimes treated as a ranged character because there is a tripod that gives crit rate bonus only when you hit the edge of the spear. Yes, true, absolutely. So regarding this character, Lancemaster, yes, it's officially melee character. However, it doesn't feel like that, you know. It has really good variety, also few skills which you can use at the right time, which are range skills. So it feels really good. Easy to manage near perfect hits. Yeah, absolutely true about this class. Like the other Anid's characters, this class has high physical strength and defense, so she does not die easily, and in the case of Flurry stance, she has both excellent part destruction and incapacitation stagger, so stable play is possible in various situations. Absolutely true. She does not die easy. It's written here. She's not squishy for sure. I wouldn't say that she's like tanky, you know, in real meaning of that word, right? But she does not die easy for sure, and I can highly appreciate that, because it doesn't matter how much damage your class can develop actually if you die easily, if your class is squishy. So easy to manage, near perfect hits, absolutely yes. And I will not read throughout all of these posts. I will check just main things here about this post, because look at this. I would read this probably for 1 hour. You can check later for yourself all the details here. However, like I said, regarding main description of this class, this guy here have made absolutely amazing post, which I have probably the best post I have seen written anywhere in the internet, right? So check it out. So let's go further. Strong points of Zenith or Star class engraving. Like I said, we still don't have any translation for other engraving. First one, probably it will be named Zenith. Both stances usable. Secure critical hit rate easily. Okay. Powerful awakening skill. Absolutely, it's looking really great. You can check some videos on my YouTube channel. I think I have made like 3 or 4 videos until now only regarding Lancemaster, regarding different kind of skills. I think in one of these videos you can see awakening skill. If not, I will put that in my next video for sure. Easy to play class excellent identity design. So easy to play, I would say enjoyable to play. Regarding beginners, so easy to play, right? So there are other classes in my mind, and I think, for example, about Shadow Hunter, let's say it like that, or maybe Berserker, maybe would be easier class to play than Lancemaster for beginner. However, is it easy to play? Well, for somebody who is playing Lost Ark for a while, for sure, yes. Excellent identity design, yes. Superior performance in equalized content. Regarding this superior performance in equalized content, okay, regarding this, right, regarding PvE and PvP performance. In PvE, absolutely great class. In PvP, against warriors, I kind of felt that I'm not that strong. When you're in PvP against warriors, Lancemaster doesn't feel that strong in generally, right? In generally speaking. Of course, all depends on skills of different players, right? On different kind of setups which players have regarding, right, your gameplay. But in generally, in PvE, yes. In PvP, so. Because warriors feels a little bit stronger than Lancemaster. What else do we have here? Very easy and comfortable playing. Yes, absolutely. Very easy, so, but comfortable. It's very enjoyable class to play. You need to feel that under the fingers. I mean, I can say to you right now anything I want here, and this guy can write many things here, but that doesn't mean anything until you try to play this class for yourself. You need to try to play it yourself. Maybe you will like it, maybe you won't, but in my opinion at least, when you compare this class with all the other classes of Lost Ark, absolutely yes, comfortable playing, yes, very enjoyable playing. Strong, stagger and destruction, yes. Relatively high point, okay. Weak points, let's check weak points. Play structure tied to identity. Well, yeah, okay. All of the above advantages are countered with the fact that it depends too much on its identity. Yes, it does. I have to admit, yes. He is here mentioning, as you can see here, different kinds of builds. You can check already dedicated videos also on my YouTube channel regarding different kind of meta builds, regarding skills and engravings for Lancemaster. I mean, it's not actually easy to talk about any kind of meta builds, because I will show you on the end of this video. I have prepared also to show you latest new changes regarding skills for this class, and that will change a lot, you know. So yeah. Awakening. Since Awakening itself has no effect on increasing the amount of damage, the expected value decreases. True. Then we have a Raid Captain. In the case of Raid Captain, the only time when she gets maximum speed of movement is during the focus stance. So not during the flurry. So there is no movement synergy in the same party. The maximum efficiency cannot be achieved in the flurry stance, which I can mention, right? Okay, true. Increased mass. In the case of mass increase, the penalty for reducing attack speed cannot be ignored for a class which does not invest in swiftness. When you switch from focus free to flurry, you can't notice the attack speed reduction that much, but in focus stance, the charging and motion of solar eclipse and red dragonflight is awfully slow. And because it is an engraving that increases attack power such as Cursed Doll, using both reduces efficiency. However, it is used as the most common in 5th imprint so far because of the research results that is the best for the 5th imprint even without the efficiency cut. Well, I can't completely confirm or deny everything what is written here, but this guy here obviously knows what he is speaking, so yeah, I would agree on this, right? Let's check further what we have here. All-out attack. In the case of all-out attack, it does not buff certain skills, and you have to use skills such as Eclipse Path, Scorching Path to get the full efficiency. Also true. High cost of settings in Korea. High cost of settings, that remains to be seen what will happen here in Western version of the game, but probably the same. So on the end of this post, it's written here, I am Lancemaster, that guy, right, who can write this post. I am Lancemaster main in Korea. Sorry if my English wasn't good. Some words might be different because I don't know what they are called in the English version. Source, Korean Wiki, my head, plus Korean Lost Ark Inven. I'm happy to answer any questions. Like I said, check details of this post if you want to learn more about this class. This is absolutely amazing what this guy have written here, and I have to say this is best description of Lance Master I have seen so far. Regarding changes of skills for Lance Master, this is very important and I will show you here because these changes were actually implemented recently on Korean servers, PTR servers. So I mean, it's not that they have implemented these changes on live servers, or even here for Western version of the game probably will not get these changes at the start. However, we might in the future. So you can see here a few skills, actually more than few changes, but also here in description from developers they have adjusted critical hit rate and critical damage. So they didn't touch that much overall damage because okay, of course that critical hit rate will have influence on overall damage on the end. However, they have changed here head attack to back attack for some skills, 2 skills, and then for red skills here, so you will use blue skills for your lance and red skills for your spear. And here for red skills you can see changes regarding critical hit rate. How will this have effect on gameplay of Lance Master? That remains to be seen, because like I said, this is PTR server, and I will also put a link in the description below video so you can check all of these changes. I have made 2 dedicated videos regarding changes also for other classes, because look at this. Lots of changes were implemented not only for Lance Master. I would say maybe for Paladin and for Striker they didn't change much, but look at this. Infighter. What else do we have here? Battle Master. We have lots of changes regarding skills on the PTR server, and some changes are actually pretty huge. Everything depends how will these changes work out on PTR server. If on PTR server developers will be satisfied, if feedback from players will be good, then probably all of these changes we will also see on Western servers very soon and on the live servers. But until then, what else to say except we can follow what is happening over there in Korea, because whatever they have over there in Korea, sooner or later we will get here in the West. Like I said, you can check all of these skill changes for different classes, including Destroyer, new class which we will get in May, on my YouTube channel in 2 dedicated videos from like 3 or 4 days ago. Check those videos for those changes. For today, I wanted to show you this really amazing post regarding Lance Master. I will put link in description below video so you can visit Reddit and check this post in details. Absolutely amazing work from this guy regarding description of this class, and even with these bad sides, I would say weak points of this class, don't forget Lance Master is something absolutely amazing, and I can highly recommend to you try to play it. It doesn't matter what you read, what you can hear in different kind of guides regarding this class, regarding any class basically. Whatever you hear, it doesn't matter until you try to play any class, also including this class, for yourself. Then you will see how does it feel for you. If it feels good, play it. If not, play some other class. Let me know in the comments below video how do you like Lance Master from information we have so far about it, and will you try to play it after release? Will you maybe wait for release of Destroyer in May? If you are interested into Lost Ark, check my YouTube channel for lots of gameplay videos, guides for new players, and news from World of Lost Ark. I am following everything what is happening in Korea and of course on Western servers, because recently I'm playing of course from release on Western servers. And when I see something interesting is happening, I will let you know about that. Thank you for watching the video and subscribe to my YouTube channel to see more Lost Ark videos in the future. See you soon. Lance Master is the next new class which we will get here in the West, and we have get that officially confirmed in the latest new post from Amazon Games. I have to admit that this is my favorite class, and for sure my new main class, because I have played this class a lot in Korea and Russia, and it was absolutely amazing experience. Lance Master can make decent damage, it's not squishy, and most important, it feels really good under the fingers. So in today's video, you will find out everything you need to know about this new upcoming beauty. Before we start, let me just say, subscribe to my YouTube channel to see more Lost Ark videos in the future. Okay, first thing which I need to tell you is a new name for this class for Western release, because publisher and developers of the game have decided to change name of this class from Lancemaster into Glaivier. They have decided to go with European name for a weapon as a base for this name, because main weapon of this class is exactly that, glaive, which is actually one kind of polyarm. It's a lance, actually. Spear is a secondary weapon of this class, and to be honest, even Spearmaster sounds really good as a name for this class. For purpose of this video, I will call this class a Lancemaster, just because it's easier to say it than Glaivier. I hope I have pronounced that good. Anyway, Lancemaster is a female fighter, martial artist class. Actually, it's a fourth female fighter class after War Dancer, Scrapper and Soulfist. Lancemaster is a melee damage dealer kind of class, which also have few ranged skills. Like I already mentioned, you can use two weapons, glaive and spear, and each one of these weapons have specific skills for that weapons. Blue skills are for glaive and the red ones for spear. You can change weapons whenever you want during your gameplay, and with that change of a weapon during fight, you will get certain buff depending how much are full your free bars above letter Z on the middle of your screen. So that swap from main weapon to secondary and vice versa, change from secondary weapon to main weapon, will also give you buffs. Buffs which you can get are increase in movement speed, increase in damage to enemies, and critical damage increase, all depending on how many bars you have full in the moment of changing weapons. So that's it, simple as that. Right away, I need to tell you that things regarding meta build for engravings, stats and skills are easy to handle, and I will tell you in details how to do that. But regarding gameplay, this class is not so much beginners friendly as some other classes. But like all other classes of Lost Ark, when you play it for a while, it just becomes so fluid and feels natural under the fingers, so you don't need to worry even if you have never tried to play Lost Ark before. You'll handle it without any problems. Regarding engravings, you should go for abstinence engraving if you are a free-to-play player, or for zenith engraving if you are a hardcore pay-to-win player. Abstinence engraving will allow you to use only your main weapon, glaive, but overall damage is increased for 36%, and zenith engraving will make your character in generally much stronger when you are swapping those weapons from main to secondary and from secondary to main, so with that buff. So you need to decide for yourself. Awakening skills, as for all other classes of Lost Ark, feel really powerful, and my favorite one is a red one, but I will leave something for you to discover for yourself. Lancemaster is decent in PvP and very good in PvE gameplay, and overall one of the best classes of Lost Ark without any doubt. In the future, you will see much more dedicated videos regarding Lancemaster here on my YouTube channel. You will see much more details regarding different skills of this class and engravings. So if you are interested into Lancemaster and in generally into Lost Ark, subscribe to my YouTube channel. This huge announcement was released, as you can see here in front of you, yesterday. New martial artist advanced class, Glaivier. This is a huge thing. Probably you have already heard that we will also get during April a new continent, Southern, something really huge, right? And during May we are getting Destroyer. I know that many of you were hoping to see a first Destroyer released here in the West. However, like I said during this video, Lancemaster is absolutely amazing class, so there is time, don't worry, you'll play Destroyer in May. Regarding other new classes, just to briefly mention, over there in Korea, we have get announcement from Smilegate RPG that in the future we will see the release of two new classes, Female Berserker and Aeromancer. They didn't give us too many details regarding Female Berserker. We know that Aeromancer looks like will use Umbrella as its weapon and will be able to control weather conditions. That will be interesting, right? However, we didn't get any kind of official information regarding release dates or something like that. probably we will first get female berserker, but we don't know that even for sure. Currently in Korea, like you can see here in front of you, nothing huge is happening over there. Latest big thing over there was that we have get new continent Rowan over there in Korea, where you need to decide between two factions, Team Red or Team Blue basically, and then later you can participate in some faction versus faction PvP, and also in guild versus guild PvP, but that's a story for another video. You can check actually some dedicated videos regarding Rowan battlefield, which is 48 versus 48 players kind of battlefield. Yes, something really interesting, where you have actually one combination of PvP and PvE. You can check that video on my YouTube channel from like a few weeks back. So regarding new classes of Lost Ark, that's it for today's video. I wanted to give you some main information about Lancemaster. Like I said, if you are interested into Lancemaster in the future, you will see much more dedicated videos regarding engravings, awakening skills, and normal skills of this beautiful class. Let me know in the comments below video, how do you like new classes of Lost Ark which are coming to the west, Lancemaster and Destroyer, and which one of these classes will you try to play? If you are interested into Lost Ark, check my YouTube channel for lots of gameplay videos, guides for new players, and news from World of Lost Ark. Thank you for watching the video, and subscribe to my YouTube channel to see more Lost Ark videos in the future. See you soon. Lancemaster is a new class of Lost Ark, which without any doubt will be very popular here in the West. And since I have played this class a lot in the past, especially in Korea, I can confirm to you that Lancemaster is performing very good in PvE and on decent way in PvP. Since we have finally get officially translated names for skills and engravings for Lancemaster, in today's video you will see which engraving and skills are best to use to be able to get maximum damage and in generally best performance out of this class. Before we start, let me just say, subscribe to my YouTube channel to see more Lost Ark videos in the future. As you can see, I am already here on official website of Lost Ark, and I am here to check this post, which is actually a really nice post from Amazon Games. But before I show you anything regarding engravings and skills, I need to show you main mechanics, main dynamic for this class, and that is swapping between weapons. So you can see here two stances, Flurry and Focus. So basically, Flurry stance is a stance of main weapon, Glaive, and Focus is another stance of secondary weapon, Spear. And when you are actually swapping, when you are changing weapons, you're getting specific kind of buff. All depends, of course, on dual meter, on which level you have that dual meter, 1, 2, or 3. What kind of buff you actually get. So let's check first that swapping between Flurry and Focus, swapping between Glaive and Spear, what kind of buff you actually get. This is very important because you will see later that has influence depending on which engraving you are actually using. So first, swapping between Flurry to Focus. So that means you're swapping between, you have your main weapon Glaive, you're swapping to secondary weapon Spear. Dual meter level 1 grants a 5% move speed bonus. Dual meter level 2 grants 10% move speed and 10% damage bonus. And dual meter level 3, which is actually that point where you want to swap weapon on dual meter level 3, grants 15% move speed, 10% damage and 25% critical damage bonus. So this is the key here. You should swap weapon during dual meter level 3, right? For that level. Because if you swap earlier for a level 1 or 2, your buff will not be that high, right? Let's check now swapping in opposite direction, right? From Spear to Glaive. So dual meter level 1 grants 5% attack speed bonus, which is actually pretty nice. Dual meter level 2 grants 10% attack speed and 10% damage bonus. And dual meter level 3, again, best bonus of course, 15% attack speed, 10% damage and 25% crit damage bonus. So again, you should swap when you have level 3 of this dual meter. So this is main mechanic of this class. swapping between weapons. And this swapping between weapons and getting this buff is working only if you are using one engraving, this one, upper one. So they have finally translated names of engravings. We have here Pinnacle. So when you use Pinnacle engraving, this swapping will work. However, if you use Control engraving, which you probably won't use, I'll talk about that in a minute, and then you cannot do this swapping, right? You cannot get this buff. Instead of that buff, you will actually get another thing. You'll be able only to use your main weapon, so only glaive, but you will get damage buff. I will show you what is happening here. Not a fan of stance swapping, but still want to play Glaivier, or whatever we pronounce this class. I mean, I will never get used to this name, to be honest. I will call this class Lancemaster forever, probably. So yeah. This is the engraving for you. So if you don't want to swap between stances, between weapons. Control disables the focus stance, so you cannot use red skills, you cannot use spear, but increases the damage of flurry skills by 18% at level 1, 27% at level 2, and 36% at level 3. While you'll have access to fewer skills, because you can use only blue skills, not red ones, and no swapping for bonuses, this damage increase will help your pack a punch. So actually this stance, I mean, when you look at like this, right, this is pretty nice increase in damage, and when you look at like this, why wouldn't you use a control stance? Well, the thing is next, right? So this bonus, this buff, you can forget about this. And all the major meta builds from Korea are basically using that normal stance, I would say, not stance, normal engraving, Pinnacle. So most of the builds from Korea are going for this, for swapping weapons, right? For using both weapons, main and secondary, not for this control engraving. You need to decide for yourself. I already made video like maybe a few days back, actually a week. You can check on my YouTube channel that video regarding specific skills of this class, and I will show you a little bit later here skills of this class. I mean, of course, it looks even logical, right? Why wouldn't you use blue skills and red skills and get that buff? However, I mean, you can try to play with control engraving. However, most of the players in Korea and most of the meta builds in Korea are going for this Pinnacle engraving. So continuing and enhancing the stance swapping nature of Glaivier, the Pinnacle engraving replaces the dual meter stage 3 effect, granting increasingly powerful bonuses as you progress throughout the 3 levels of engravings. So yeah, that's basically simple as that, right? So regarding engravings, I think that situation is really clear. If you want to use only one weapon, only blue skills, and get increase in damage, you will use this engraving here, Control, right? That is officially translated from Amazon Games. If you want to use both weapons and both skills, right, red ones and blue ones, then you will use this one. So that's pretty clear. Regarding skills of this class, I have already studied this post, a really good work from Amazon Games and Smilegate RPG. They have provided for us a full translation of skills for this class, right? You can see here in front of you for both weapons, for a glaive and for spear. And I will just today focus, I have recognized some translations basically have remained the same. I will tell you which skills are like mandatory over there in Korea. Other skills, well, you can decide for yourself, you know, you need to feel under the fingers, how does it feel for you, right? Whatever I say in today's video doesn't need to mean anything because you need to try to play this class for yourself and then to decide which engraving you will use. Doesn't matter what people say, what is meta, right? And which skills, of course, but I will just tell you in generally which skills are like most of the people are using over there in Korea and which are mandatory, which I have used mostly in the past. So we have here translations of the skills. Let's start with double strike, wind splinter, third skill here. Okay, I recognize this name. I have used this skill for sure. So this skill, one of the mandatory skills over there in Korea and to use here in the West probably. Wheel of blades, and then we have, yeah, this is mandatory, flash kick here and walled stick. So I will not go into details today. You can check, like I said, my video from like maybe a few days back where I go into details of each one of these skills. Check that video regarding Lancemaster. Today, just in generally, which skills are best to use, right? Blue Dragon's Claw, I can't remember, I can't say I remember this one. Half Moon Slash, yes. Absolutely yes, you need to use this one. Then we have Chain Slash, Cutting Wind, Soul Cutter, Raging Dragon Slash, Spear Dive, and Shackling Blue Dragon. Out of these few skills here, Chain Slash and Cutting Wind probably would be mandatory. Also this one, Raging Dragon Slash. Out of Focus 10 skills, these here skills are now red ones for your Spear, secondary weapon. We have here this one, Four-Headed Dragon. I remember I have used this one a lot. What else do we have here? This one here, a Red Dragon Horn, absolutely yes. And I didn't see here Vault. Did I skip somewhere? Probably I didn't. Maybe they have translated something differently, because I remember Vault skill, that was name of the skill over there in Korea, right? So I'm not sure, to be honest, did they translate exactly, will they translate the same, right? Everything but Vault should be the name of the skill, which you should also use. So regarding the skills, I mean, same like for awakening skills. They have also put here translations regarding 2 awakening skills. And to be honest, which one to use? Well, all depends on your gameplay style. All depends on which engraving you will use. Here you can see 2 awakening skills, and I will not tell you here, use this one is better. No. Just try out both of them, and also, of course, everything depends on which engraving you are using. Then you will decide which one of these awakening skills you will use. Engravings of Lancemaster, as you can see, are main thing about this class. Everything depends how will you play, right? Which engraving you will decide to use, and then on your gameplay style. Will you swap between weapons, glaive and spear, or will you use maybe one weapon, glaive? So I think I was pretty clear, and basically this post from Amazon Games, they have done this on really good way. I will put a link in the description below video so you can check this post for yourself. And also I want to add one more thing here, because I have noticed, where it is, oh, here it is. Feiton Power Pass, probably you have heard about that. With release of new class Lancemaster, we will also get new Power Pass Feiton 960 completely for free. Basically how you get this Power Pass, just to tell you that, so I will not read to you all of this text. It's pretty simple. You need to finish Feiton part of the story in the game with at least one character, and if you have already done that with some of the character in the past, probably you have, right? You will get your Power Pass, Feiton Power Pass immediately, automatically for free when you enter the game. That's it, simple as that. However, don't forget, you don't need to use your Feiton Power Pass on your Lancemaster. Maybe you want to save it for Destroyer, or maybe you can use it on some other third class, new character, right? So, Feiton Power Pass will take you to gear score 960, which is actually pretty nice. That means that you are pretty close to tier 3, and you can check dedicated video on my YouTube channel how to reach that gear score 1100 tier 3, which materials and how many of materials you will need. You can check that video within last 48 hours, 24 hours on my YouTube channel. So that's it for today's video, and I hope I can manage to help you with explaining what is happening here with this dynamics of this class. Basically, it's pretty simple, and I have to say, you have to try to play this class. This is one really enjoyable class to play, and I have no doubt if you try to play it, if you like to play classes which are not squishy, I wouldn't say tanky, but for sure not squishy, with decent performance in PvE and in PvP, you will enjoy in playing this class. Let me know in the comments below video, how do you like Lancemaster from information we have so far about it, and will you try to play it, or maybe you'll wait for release of Destroyer in May. If you are interested into Lost Ark, check my YouTube channel for lots of gameplay videos, guides for new players, and news from World of Lost Ark. Thank you for watching the video, and subscribe to my YouTube channel to see more Lost Ark videos in the future. See you soon. Lancemaster is a new class incoming to Western servers of Lost Ark during April, so it's time to check different kind of PvE and PvP builds for this class. I was able to find some very interesting builds, and I have tried to play myself some of them, so in today's video you will hear all about it. Before we start, let me just say, subscribe to my YouTube channel to see more Lost Ark videos in the future. First, I need to say something very important regarding Lancemaster. Two engravings of this class are Zenith and Abstinence, and if you use Abstinence engraving, your overall damage in generally will be higher for about 36%, but you will not be able to swap weapons. On the other hand, if you decide to go for Zenith engraving, you will need to swap between two weapons, lance and spear, and on that way you will get certain buff. And most of the people are going for that Zenith engraving, because if you swap weapons on that third stage when you have that bar full, then that buff is actually pretty high, but I'll talk about that a little bit later. So you will notice today in different kind of builds, most of the players are going for Zenith engraving, but if you like to play on more simple way, only with your main weapon, then just go for Abstinence engraving. I have also tried that, and to some point, yes, it's also viable. It's much more simple to play on that way. You don't need to swap between weapons all the time. Also, for now, I really don't know how will publisher and developers of the game translate names of engravings and skills for our Western version of the game, so take that into consideration. So we still don't have translation, official translation from developers of the game and publisher of the game, but we will see after release of new class, right? It's easy to recognize which skill is which. So let's check different kind of builds. For today's video, I will show you 3 different builds. Title of this first build is number 1 in Korea. I mean, is this really build number 1 in Korea? I mean, so. Let's say it is to some point, right? So let's check it out. Points used 348. Obviously here you can see already now we have blue skills and red skills, so this means Zenith engraving. So let's check first skill here, 4 out of 10, chain slash. Strike upward with your spear to inflict 255 damage and launch foes into the air, then slash with your spear while advancing 3 meters forward, inflicting 205 damage. Afterwards, slash 2 times in the opposite direction, inflicting 255 damage and 308 damage. Airborne foes are launched into the air again when hit. This skill here is like mandatory for start, right? So chain slash, and effect is here only immediate advance 6 meters forward and perform 1 slash. So swoop effect. Let's go forward with a flash kick, 4 out of 10. Use your spear as a lever to advance 7 meters forward. Yes, this is looking actually pretty interesting. Inflicting 185 damage 3 times, followed by a strong kick that inflicts 300 damage. Also mandatory skill. You will see these 2 skills, chain slash and flash kick, in many builds. Effect 1, excellent mobility, and that's it. Then we have here half a moon slash. Let's check it out. Drag your spear across the ground while moving forward, inflicting 456 damage 2 times, followed by an upward slash that inflicts 781 and 906 damage. Hit foes and launched in the air. Yes, also one very interesting skill. Let's check effects here. Flurry expertise, then we have final decision and blade of tornado. So let's go further. What do we have here? A raging dragon slash. Let's check it out. 10 out of 10. Enlarge your spear and spin 360 degrees to inflict 3,433 damage. Yes, lots of damage, knocking foes back. Cooldown 24 seconds, MP 88. Very nice skill. What do we have here regarding effects? Quick prepare, precise slash, and awaken. Very, actually, yeah, when I'm looking better now, this build here, probably, yes, this is number 1 build in Korea currently, and not only currently, within, let's say, last few months. Let's check here, a red dragon horn. Hold the skill hotkey to focus your mind and gather energy, then aim and thrust your spear toward the foe within 12 meters radius at 90 degrees angle, inflicts 2096 damage. Actually pretty nice damage, right? Hit the perfect zone to extend the attack range up to 16 meters, inflicting 4,196 damage and knocking foes back. So this is one of the reasons why you need to switch between weapons, why you should go for Zenith Engraving. Like I said, you don't need to. You can play with Abstinence Engraving, but then you'll not be able to play with this skill because this skill belongs to Spear. It's a kind of combination of Spear and Lance. Effects here, before effects, let's check cooldown here, 24 seconds, yes of course, MP 88. Let's check effects, quick repair, speed of destruction and weak point detection. What else do we have here? Shackling, Blue Dragon, 10 out of 10. Which one is that? Spin your spear when you stand and strike down with force, creating a shockwave that inflicts, yes, I know that skill, 2,369 damage. Foes hit by this skill lose 8% of their crit resistance for 6 seconds. So this is actually pretty nice. Effects, quick repair, blitz and critical spear. Let's go forward here. We have Stampeding Slash. Okay, what is this? Let me remind myself. Cooldown 10 seconds, MP 53 consumption. Madly brandish your spear while moving 4 meters forward, inflicting 445 damage 3 times, followed by a finish blow that inflicts 505 damage. Airborne foes are launched into the air again when hit. I mean, it's not so high damage, but cooldown is very low, 10 seconds, so this is pretty nice. Effects here, Flurry Expertise, Enhanced Strike and Ripping Blades. Let's check what we have here. Starfall Pounce, so this is Spear skill. Cooldown 24 seconds. When you see higher cooldown, of course, you can expect already higher damage. Jump within 8 meters of the target location and create a shockwave as you land. Inflicts 3,376 damage and launching foes into the air. Very nice skill. Effects here, weak point detection, quick preparation and powerful finish. Volt, okay, we have here effect excellent mobility only. Cooldown 10 seconds and yeah, lower cooldown, of course, then we have lower damage. Stick your spear in the ground and do somersault, inflicting 742 damage and launching foes into the air. Regarding skills of Lance Master, you will see they're actually pretty beautiful. I have to say it's a real pleasure to play this class, not only because it feels very good under the fingers, it's also because skills are looking pretty nice. Animations of the skills are looking really nice. Wheel of Blades we have here on the end, 10 out of 10, a cooldown 14 seconds, spin sideways, inflicting 476 damage 3 times, followed by a finishing blow that inflicts 616 damage. Airborne foes hit by a spinning attack are launched into the air again and then get slammed to the ground with the last blow. As you can see, you are sending a lot your foes up in the air, which is actually pretty good. Effects here, a magical control, a weak point detection and consecutive spin. So this would be a #1 build in Korea, and yeah, probably this is #1 build in Korea. Viable for PvP and for PvE, I guess, and with Zenith Engraving. Let's go forward with the second build here, which I want to show you. This build here, it's written here PvE, but I was already checking these builds. They are looking a little bit more to me on PvP side, but okay, maybe I'm mistaken here. Anyway, points used 368. First skill, Chain Slash. We have already checked that skill, right? So I will not read it again. So effect, Fatal Strike. Then we have here a Dragon Scale Defense. This is something different. So we have here cooldown 20 seconds, MP 80 consumption, block attacks from the front with your spear, negating damage up to 110% of your max HP. This is really nice. If you successfully block an attack within 1.1 second, thrust your spear forward for 1490 damage 2 times. So really nice skill, 7 out of 10. Effects, Steady Belief and Absolute Defense. Let's go forward with Flash Kick. This is a skill for Lance. Let's check it out. Cooldown 12 seconds, use spear as a lever to... We have already checked this also, yeah, in the previous build. So excellent mobility here again and the same skill. So we have chain slash and flash kick from the previous build. Half Moon Slash we also had in the previous build, so I will not repeat this again. 10 out of 10 here, Flurry Expertise, Final Decision and Blade of Tornado. So as you can see, builds are pretty similar. There are some differences, of course. You can check them all out. I will put link in description below video. I'm here at lostarkcodex.com, and this is actually one really nice website where you can check not only builds for your new class, Lancemaster, or maybe for a Destroyer. You can basically check skills and builds, different kind of builds for all the classes of Lost Ark. So I can highly recommend to you, like I said, I will put link in description below video. Check all of these builds later here on lostarkcodex.com. What do we have further here? Raging Dragon Slash, we have already checked that. Very nice damage. Look, I mean, this is really insane damage. 3,433 damage, 360 degrees. It's normal that it's going 10 out of 10. Quick preparation, effect, precise slash, and awaken. Red Dragon Horn, did we already have that? I think we also had that, yes, we had. So, quick preparation, effect, spear of destruction, and weak point detection. So, this build here is a little bit different because this skill here, Dragon Scale Defense, most of the other skills remain the same. Shackling Blue Dragon remains the same as from previous build. Then we have Stampeding Slash. Did we have that also in the previous build? Let me check here. We also had that. So as you can see, builds are very similar here. There are some differences. You need to check effects regarding tripods here. Flurry Expertise, Enhanced Strike, and Ripping Blades are for Stampeding Slash. Then we have Starfall Pounce. Again, a skill from previous build, a weak point detection, quick preparation, and powerful finish. And on the end we have Vault and Willow Blades, same as in previous build. So you would say, what is the difference between these two builds? Well, there is difference, and you can feel that difference while you play the game. And let's move now here to third build which I want to show you here. It's written here PvE and PvP. Yeah, okay, I could agree on this. This is something a little bit different again. Again, you will recognize some, I would say, mandatory skills for the builds, right? Points used, 340 here, a little bit less than from previous two builds. We are starting here, this time not with Chain Slash. Chain Slash is here obviously also, but we have here Four-Headed Dragon. This is a skill for Spear, red one. Cooldown 16 seconds, so MP 70 consumption. Thrust your spear 8 times in front of you, inflicting 517 damage, followed by a finish thrust that inflicts 216 damage. So this skill actually has a pretty decent damage because it's 8 times in front of you, inflicting 517 damage. Cooldown 16 seconds, not so low, but also not that high. As you can see here, 1 out of 10, so without any additional effects. However, play around a little bit, right? I mean, you can check some builds here in generally, not only for Lancemaster, but you can decide for yourself. You need to check under the fingers how it feels for you the best, you know? And then don't stick with some build just because somebody say it's meta. Meta is something which is changing every now and then, right? So find your own meta, right? Without any kind of, I mean, taking consideration when somebody else is saying something, but make your own build for yourself. Chain Slash we have here as normally. We have here only one effect, like also in previous builds. Cutting Wind, did we had also this before? Let's check it out. Cooldown 20 seconds, move 8 meters forward past foes to inflict 550 damage 3 times and return to your position, inflicting 709 damage. We didn't have this before, that's why I'm actually showing you this build here, because I remember I have played with Cutting Wind, and actually it felt pretty good. Here we have 7 out of 10, quick preparation, quickness also. They didn't add here anything more, but okay. Let's go forward with Dragon Scale Defense. We already had that in the previous build, here without any additional effects. You know that skill, I will not read again. Flash kick, also from previous 2 builds, a very good skill I can highly recommend to you. And you will also recognize the rest of the skills here with just a little bit with difference, of course, in effects, because we have less points here, 340. And like I said, these should be meta builds, but check for yourself. So we have here Half Moon Slash again with Flurry Expertise, a Final Decision and Blade of Tornado. Then we have Raging Dragon Slash, again 10 out of 10, Quick Preparation, Quick Slash and Awaken. Red Dragon Horn, very good skill, Quick Preparation, Spear of Destruction and Weak Point Detection. Shackling Blue Dragon, Quick Preparation, Blitz and Critical Spear. We also had that. Okay, so we have here some differences. As you can see here on the end of this build, we have Volt and Willow Blades. That's kind of normal, I would say. But we have here something different. This is different. Spiraling Spear. Lower your stance and thrust your spear, inflicting 194 damage. So this skill have very low damage. However, check cooldown here. 5 seconds. Yes, very low cooldown, very low MP consumption, only 36. So it's interesting to use this also build. I wouldn't say it's not interesting. Check it out. Starfall Pounce, we had that skill before, so from previous builds. However, we didn't have this. Thrust of Destruction. Cooldown 24 seconds. Of course, when you see cooldown like this one, you can expect high damage. Gather energy onto your spear, inflicting 151 and 151 damage to foes at close range. Then thrust forward, releasing a beam of energy that inflicts 656 damage 3 times and 759 damage 1 time. So yes, pretty beautiful skill, I would say, and with very nice damage. So I have shown you today this, actually this third build I have played the most, I would say, generally, right? In the past I have played this build. It's viable for PvP and for PvE with Zenith Engraving. But like I said, you can try also Abstinence Engraving, or however they will translate that in the future. We don't know that for sure for Western version of the game, right? For release of Lance Master. Anyway, all of these builds are looking pretty good, I would say. This build here is titled with #1 in Korea. Probably it is. But like I said, regarding meta builds, check it out. Check different kind of builds. That is good thing to do, right? In generally. But then pick for yourself. Decide for yourself. You need to feel under the fingers different kind of skills. And then pick for yourself your meta build. And use it for yourself. Because yeah, it feels the best for you. So that's it for today's video. In the future, of course, if you are interested into Lance Master and other classes of Lost Ark, you can check lots of guides on my YouTube channel. Probably after Western release of Lance Master, I will re-roll to Lance Master completely and I will play it as my main class because it's one absolutely amazing class. But I'm still not 100% sure because we are still getting Destroyer in May, which is another great class. But that's a story for another videos. In the future, of course, if you are also interested into Destroyer, I'll make lots of guides. Let me know in the comments below, will you try to play a Lance Master or will you wait for release of Destroyer? Which class do you like more? If you are interested into Lost Ark, check my YouTube channel for lots of gameplay videos, guides for new players and news from World of Lost Ark. Thank you for watching the video and subscribe to my YouTube channel to see more Lost Ark videos in the future. See you soon.